Madame et monsieur, bienvenue. A Cirque de Mouse. Ooh, that's hot. Ow. Too hot on my legs. You can tell it's cold outside because there's a very hot fire over there and there's a pit bull and a blanket over there. You can tell it's chilly up because somebody's in his blanket. He's always in a blanket. He's a fan of comfort, that guy. Anyway, hey, how are you guys? On today's exciting episode, I just wanted to show you real quick something. The last time we talked, I was considering what to do with this whole rear end here. Also, sorry about the title. Maybe not. I don't know, depending on what you're into. It's not going to be that kind of butt stuff. It might be. Who knows? We've got time yet. Anyway, I just wanted to show you where I ended up landing with all this stuff, because this is all getting so close that it's about time. It was a second ago, because yesterday I was looking at stuff and it actually fell apart. Not like, big funny joke fell apart, but like actually fell down and fell apart when I didn't want it to. So it's not quite perfect, but it's perfect enough for those of us here. It's good enough for who it's for, as they say. Anyway, just wanted to show you real quick, give you kind of a better idea what I was doing. I did end up trimming this section back here out in 3 or 4 pieces, but I saved my drop so I could put it back if I don't like it. But gave it a little radius in the front, and it's just blah. I like it though. I think it looks really cool. I think that was a better answer than trying to levitate this whole thing, because I don't know, I like it. So that's gonna stay there for the time being. I've got the piece so I can mark the other side and make it match, because I haven't cut the other side out yet at all. So that ended up going that way, which again, I like a lot. Trying to land these rear. The goal of this whole thing is, like, instead of as opposed to just a solid rear axle, because we have an independent rear, I need to make sure the camber and the caster and the toe and all of those things on a solid axle are just what they are. So you slide the axle into the car and you square it up and you make sure it sits in the right place and you put your bounce in, and Robert's your father's brother and you're done. The independent rear, just in case you wonder, it's got knuckles on it. In the case of the Corvette, actually, these C5s, these rear knuckles are the exact same as the fronts. They're just flopped side to side. So that left front becomes the right rear. The only difference is these have a hole, the rears have a hole in them for the axle to pass through. And I think even some of the higher performance C5s had a hollow. Oh no, those are hollow for the bearing too. So yeah, so those have got hollows to pass through. So anyway, but what that means is that it's got a ball joint top and bottom, and it's got a control arm, so it can move in every possible plane. So I need to make sure it's set where it wants to be set before I tack all this stuff in place. I mean, I've built in some adjustment, which I'll show you in a second. But I've got, let's see. Like, I got a bunch of pictures and stuff of. I've been knowing I was going to do this for a while, so I've gone through every once in a while, and when I get bored, I start looking for places that people have posted C5 Corvette suspension dimensions. Suspension dimensions is fun to say. And then I, grab those when I can, so I have stuff to reference. So that's basically all I've been doing, is trying to land all of this stuff. And it's all so close right now that I think I said it a minute ago, if it gets any closer, it's going to be ready to weld. So I need to take it apart before we get any closer and sand all these parts and get all this stuff ready, get all the mill scale off this. I need to take about 1/8 of an inch off the front of this, where this 90 goes down this way, to make this angle here a little bit better. But then it's ready to tack weld in place. It's all so close. I mean, it was before it fell. So that's kind of neat, but I wanted to show you these parts in action, because before they were just on the vacuum seal card from Send Cut Send. So I want to take a second, make sure you guys get a chance to see these before they disappeared. So these are basically just the They're just a copy of the C5 Corvette alignment eccentric that's in the lowers and the upper control arms in the front here. And it's just it's a washer with an offset hole in it that this piece of hardware will get welded to. And then that goes into your tab with your slot. So those go together like thus. Bolt your control arms so you can see. That's kind of how those work there. But what's cool about that then is as you rotate your washer in that, can you see that? As you rotate your washer in there, you end up with a whole bunch of nice adjustments. So if we set this whole situation up and try to measure everything right dead nuts in the middle, I've got a 1/2 inch of adjustment on either side in order to make up for any discrepancies that I introduce with all of my 11 thumbs trying to put this together. So the stock one of these, I found a picture the other day, I'll see if I can grab it. These just bolted to the frame rail. The back of the Corvette had this sort of like weird frame rail that caught the whole fiberglass tub and everything. And a lot of places sell them just with the chunks, the frame rail chunks just cut off, and these all bolted in place. Had that been an option when I bought this one, that would have been really handy. If for nothing else, then I would have had all the dimensions and I could have just made it fit. But I don't, so we're gonna do it this way. I knew this was going to be a mission, and that's all good. But what's cool about this is once we land these upper control arms, because of the nature of this whole sort of assembly back here, once the left and right upper control arm are landed and in place, our differential's handled, our transmission mount is handled, all of our rear suspension, all of the rear suspension is handled, except I need to make a shock mount. Most of the rear suspension is handled. The rear brakes are done. Like it's a lot of stuff that's going to fall together once these are done. Ditto the front, right? It's all the same thing. Once all that stuff lands, it's going to make it's going to be big steps. So this is all going to come apart, but I could not resist. I was about to say, this is going really well, but every time I say this is going really well, it usually invariably something falls down and catches on fire. So I'm not going to say that. Again, shit. Anyway, every time I screw around with the back of stuff here, I don't know have you guys seen this? I know it's on at least one short. I did shoot a bunch of B-roll that I didn't end up making in an episode because I was irritated with it. Maybe we'll pop some of that up in the corner. Maybe we won't. Who can say? But this guy here is going to end up being the tank for our air-to-water intercooler. That's going to live up under the dash. Make sure it's got enough space there for the fittings and stuff. And I think that's actually going to fit. I'm going to have to do something to tie these sides together across here. And I'm going to have to do something to tie these sides together that's then removable, because unlike a Corvette where you're going to drop this whole thing out the back to get to the transmission, I think on this car, when we need to mess with the transmission or the diff, the clutch will probably be accomplished by taking the motor out. But if we need to get the rear end out or the transmission out, I think it's going to actually have to be picked up from back here with a strap. So I need to be able to get whatever goes across here to stiffen this whole situation needs to be removable, but that mount will get mounted there too, because god damn, that's cool looking. I had thought originally that piece was going to go up here somewhere, like our favorite death machine. I was going to kind of a nod to that there with it was just going to be a radiator overflow probably, and just sit up here. And I was going to do a rear radiator, but a rear radiator is just begging for problems, and that seems like an awful lot of work and making the cooling system worse just for a vanity project. So I decided to save the tank, and we're going to take some inspiration from yonder seats. Grabbed a couple of colors that these guys have in them, and we're going to paint this tank in a serape pattern to kind of mirror those seats. Do you guys want to see like a breakdown of that? It's going to be a lot of sanding and taping, and it's going to be boring as hell. Let me know. It's going to happen anyway. And I can probably try to make it fun, but there's not a whole lot fun about sanding. I'm trying to think if I had anything else to tell you guys. It seems like I just feel like I'm really enjoying I like the way it looks. I like where it sits. I like what the ride height's going to be. It's cool the way everything, I like it. I'm liking the way it's going together. I really am. I'm enjoying the way this is coming out. So we'll do this side and then do this side to match. I was going to try, I thought maybe doing them at the same time would be, I was going to say easier, but man, even just saying that out loud sounds dumb. I thought it would be easier, but in hindsight, I don't see how that would have been. It's like just increasing the number of chainsaws you're juggling. So if I can get this side where it's happy and get it tacked in place, I can then measure, right? I can use that to square everything else, I think. So anyway, that looks so cool. I'm stoked on that. It's a black base with some silver flake over it, and then it's got this, it's got two different kinds of color shift. It's got a real, let me get the phone out. Hang on. It's got a real subtle kind of blue-purple color shift, and then that real crazy, oops, wrong button. That real crazy, like red-green. I don't know if you can see that, but it's also just over a majority of a silver base. But it's got a really nice, I like a nice color shift like that, because then when you put a candy over it, it just becomes this really crazy combination of a bunch of different colors. It's really cool. It's going to be fun. So that'll be coming soon, whether you like it or not. So that'll be fun. That'll be a whole bunch of sanding for probably 5 minutes of spraying. That's gonna be a lot of tape. That's gonna be a lot of tape, man. But that's okay. That's suffer for your craft or something. I don't even know. I don't know. I'm really liking the way this is coming together though, guys. I'm really liking the way this is coming together, and I'm excited. I've spent so many hours since the last time I talked to you setting up this rear end and trying to get it square and straight and everything, and it's just a lot of little steps and a lot of little steps, and then I got to go back and a lot, but we're really close. And even if I'm out a little bit, I don't think I'm not going to notice. I'm not like some fancy like good driver or nothing that I would notice a tiny bit of stuff being out of adjustment. But anyway, holy crap, this is looking good. This is looking cool. Do you like that? We saw a little bit of that in the last one. I don't know. I'm just digging this, and I'm just trying to like keep going little bits at a time. And I understand I got my, never mind. We'll talk about that next time. There's just little bits, right? Just little bits, and just trying little bits at a time. And like, I do believe, no, I was gonna say, this is the hard part. This whole damn car is the hard part. This whole thing's gonna be the hard part. And that's okay. That's all right. I'm really enjoying, and this is the point of this whole situation, is I'm trying to learn to enjoy the process again. I lost that for a long time, business and whatever else. And when you make, nothing destroys passion like employment. So when you make shit like this your job, it really sucks. It's hard to find the passion for it again, to be just excited about doing it on your own. So I'm trying to learn to just like the process, right? It's like you don't put on your favorite song and then when it's over go, oh, thank God that's done, right? It's the process of getting there, the enjoying going through it. That's what I'm trying to do. Come out here, little warm fire, little pit bull and a blanket, bullshit with you guys for a while, tinker with this, tinker with that. Not like on a YouTube schedule. I realize that's funny, being YouTube. I'm not trying to make this on a schedule to make everybody else happy. I'm trying to do this in a way that I can find some joy in it again, I hope. Because, man, I like making stuff, and it's fun. And, God, this would be a fun car to drive. If I can pull this out, this is going to be just a fucking blast to drive. No other way to say it. I mean, you could say it without profanity, but why would you? Anyway, thanks for listening, I guess. Non-scripted, train of thought, authentic as...
There, little friend, good as new.